Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now, whilst last week's chain issues have been well and truly resolved, I was unfortunately disqualified from this race, which I was equally surprised and disappointed at. Now guys, was the disqualification deserved? Let's watch through this. Let me know what you think in the comments at the end. It's a really interesting race as always. But yeah, let me know what you think. Should I have been disqualified or was it completely unjustified? Now this course is the same course actually that the Zwift Racing League are going to do the team time trial this coming week. Douce, France, I believe it's pronounced, but apologies if that is wrong. So yeah, have a little watch through this as well if you're going to be doing the Zwift Racing League. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to race the team time trial this week, but I do intend to do every single other race following the team time trial. So stay tuned for some Zwift Racing League races, and I'm hoping to have a pretty good season, to be honest, following all my training. So yeah, my training, I have obviously been working still with the NRC-Team. I'll just put a little link in the description again. And yeah, I actually trained for 36 hours in August, which was my highest ever kind of time spent on the bike in August. So yeah, this race is actually one of the first races that I really properly saw the difference in my training. So let's get into it then. Now this course itself is pretty flat. There's a couple of bumps along the way, but really, you know, it's quite a flat course, hence why it's being used for the team time trial in the Zwift Racing League. And yeah, initially off the bat, you know, same old, just want to sit in the pack, try and draft as much as I possibly could. But, you know, already looking at my heart rate, for me, it is still quite low at this point of the race. And the first actual main talking point is the Aqueduct KOM, which is going to be coming up in just a little bit. So I didn't really have kind of any main, I don't know, tactics. I obviously wanted to finish up as high as possible, but I didn't plan to, you know, really attack. I just, once again, wanted to see where the fitness was at and just do my best to finish up as high as possible in this race. But it was at this stage, actually, I was feeling reasonably good, and I felt confident enough to sit at the back of the pack, which in recent weeks I haven't really been able to sit at the back like that, because I've been worried about getting dropped because of where the fitness has been. But, you know, so far, there's nothing to indicate that I should be disqualified from this race. You know, in terms of my power, like, I've been sat at the back the whole time. I've not exactly been, you know, overexerting myself. So, I don't know, this initial stage of the race, I would say, do not deserve as disqualification. Anyway, so we are just coming up to the first little kind of kick point here, which is the Aqueduct KOM. So you can see that the watts or the pace of this pack has started to increase. A couple have gone off the front here. I have actually got a feather power up, so I'm just going to save that. But I just want to draft like far enough towards the front where I know that I'm not going to get dropped, but also not be out front. But yeah, I do put a little bit of power down there, use my featherweight, and I seem to be top of the group here. So I just ease off a bit and let the rest of the pack join back up. And a couple have been thrown off the back there. I think we're going to try and keep the pace a little bit higher here. I've got another feather power up, so that's no good for me just here. But yeah, it's kind of separated a little bit the field, but the majority of the bunch are still with us here. And it was quite a well attended race actually. And yeah, I felt like I was doing well to still be in the main bunch at this pack, but I would have been disappointed if I had fallen off by now. So yeah, you can see up here, someone's just made a little bit of or tried to make a little bit of a getaway. So I just clawed him back, and then I just stay out front for a little bit. I do get pegged back there by somebody else, which was fine, but I did try and flex a little bit there and not. I don't know, I just wanted to put the power down. So it was at this point I was like, right, I remember a little while back being in one of these races and someone attacked like over and over again. So I thought, you know what, just give it a go. So I put down a few watts and I thought, well, let's see who's feeling strong. Let's see who comes with me. There's this one in orange there that just does a good job and catches me up. But we don't kind of take turns from there because I'm, you know, kind of on my limit at this point, 300 plus watts. But we have done a pretty good job there of separating the field, so I'm happy with that. And although I did do a little squirt of power, it wasn't like I don't know, it's not like a 5-minute effort or anything like that. It was probably a couple of minutes that I did a little burst of power there, and it was just literally to separate the field. But I enjoyed doing that, and I thought, you know what, the fitness must be pretty good if I'm even thinking about doing something like that. So I have a little rest again, and now, you know, in my head, I'm like, well, I'm pretty tired, but you could always try and give it another go at some point. So right now I'm just taking cover at the back of the pack and, you know, saving the legs. But I'm thinking, right, I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to see who's strong enough to come with me. I don't think I'm going to relay at this point, but I'm like, right, I'm going to still give it a go. So, yeah, just planning my attack here, and I stand up on the bike and give it a little bit more of a squirt of power. I'm sure it's coming up in just a second. There we go. So, yeah, stand up on the bike, and the chase is on again. And my goal is to make, obviously, the end of this race as easy as possible for me, and to have, you know, maybe someone that's a great sprinter that maybe isn't necessarily going to be very good at holding on to these kind of efforts. I thought I might get rid of a couple, but you can see there someone else is off the back again. But it wasn't, you know, it wasn't an extended burst of power, and it's not like I'm doing loads and loads of watts. You know, I'm kind of still sat in the draft here. So that was it in terms of, you know, the only things that I attempted to do to win this race was a couple of little bursts which got rid of a couple of people off the back, really. So I think we're down to about maybe 10 or so here. 10 or so in this little group. And I don't know, what do you think? Have I been over the kind of C threshold limits? I don't think I have at this point. Again, yes, I've tried a couple of times, but it's not like I've been at the front the whole time. So yeah, so far I'm thinking, okay, well, it's been a pretty enjoyable race so far. I know we got a couple of big hitters here sprint-wise, so, you know, I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but, you know, my sprinting recently has been pretty good. I've got a draft van, so yeah, here we go. Then coming up to the last little bit of this race, 0.9 of a mile to go. And I'm just really holding back here, waiting for someone to make that initial move. Now, the person in the orange, I think they're going to be probably quite strong because they've tried catching up from me. And that other person from level riding, they were also, I think Harrison is the name, they've also been pretty good. I know it's going to be a really, really difficult end, so I just put a little bit of power down there, try and catch up Harrison and just sit on his wheel. It was, you know, too far to go out to kind of hold the sprint to the very end, so it kind of settles again, and we've got a couple coming back through. I'm just trying to now save as much energy as possible because I know the end of the race is going to be pretty chaotic. I've now used my drafting boost, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, maybe a little bit of a mistake using it just at that point. But I've still got a pretty good chance, you know. Unfortunately here I just drift to the front at exactly the wrong point, and you can see someone is about to get the jump on me. There's Harrison again, who just comes round, and then we've got this other guy in orange, just manages to pass me as well. So, you know, I'm going to hold on for third place, I think, here. The win's already out of reach. But, you know, from a field of 30 plus, or around 30, I'm pretty happy with a third position here. And I feel like I've had a really, good workout. I feel like I've, pushed the pace. Now, when it came to me to look at the results, you can see here, I was like, right, I'm not on this page. So what is going on here? And you can just have a look on this next page here that I was actually disqualified because I was over the watts per kilogram. Now, I can't see where I was, if I'm honest with you. And if you look at some of the other people, they have got higher watts than me. Go back to the first screen that I shared. I wasn't the highest in terms of 20-minute power, and I also wasn't the highest overall. So I'm not really sure why I got disqualified, especially there, you know, if you look back at races that have previously happened, it's nowhere near my best. Anyway, that's the kind of final there. Bit disappointed, but, you know, it means the fitness is going the right way. But what do you think? Put it in the comments. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.